methodology. So first of all, I would say what Agile is, and simply Agile is the ability for you to move and think quickly in a coordinate fashion. And in the world of project management and software development, Agile can be seen as an iterative approach that helps teams deliver value to customer using short cycles of work and by practicing continuous delivery. And this means that the teams must be able to accept rapid change in a short time. And the Agile follows a set of principles and values which are listed in the Agile Manifesto as seen on my screen. And there are four main values. There's individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working products over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to change over following the time. And this means that the items on the left are valued more. Doesn't mean like the items on the right have no value. They both have value, but the items on the left are valued more than items on the right. And since the publication of the manifesto in 2001, many frameworks emerged which help teams to practice Agile. And some of the frameworks we are familiar with them. Maybe some of us might be hearing about some of them for the first time today. So the first framework is the Scrum framework. We have the Kanban, we have Lean, we have extreme programming, we have Crystal, we have dynamic system development method, we have feature-driven development. There are so many others, but I just decided to list this few. So first of all, I would talk about Scrum, and it's a framework that helps teams work together. It encourages teams to learn through experiences and self-organize while working on the problem. And it also enables them to reflect on their wins and their losses. And the Scrum, there are different events that in this Scrum framework. Like if you're practicing Scrum, these are some of the events or meetings that you'll be having like on a daily, weekly, or maybe monthly basis. And the first one is daily Scrum, which I know that we called daily stand-up in Bincom. And then we have the sprint planning, where the devs come together and decide that, okay, during this number of weeks, this is the feature we are going to implement. Then we have the sprint review, which comes at the end of the sprint, where they present to the stakeholders what they were able to achieve during this sprint and collect feedback. Then finally, the last one is the sprint retrospective, which happens within the team when they come and reflect on what works during the sprint and what didn't work. So the next one I'm going to be talking about is Kanban. And the framework is based on three principles, which I would say to do, in progress, and done. It helps to establish the flow of tasks in progress at the moment, and it helps to improve the flow. And Kanban encourages collaboration. So the core aspect of Kanban is that it helps visualize your workflow. It limits work in progress and it manages flow. Visualize your workflow in the sense that you are able to see the flow of tasks. And this is where, for example, the Trello board comes in. I'm not sure if everybody gets familiar with it, but it's something that is going to be used by the organization if it's not being used right now. So you're able to visualize the flow using Kanban. Like for example, the board you can see on my presentation, it shows you three sections, which is also the three principles of Kanban, which is it to be in progress and done. And it says it limits works in progress. That means that Kanban encourages that you have to end a task before moving to another task. It doesn't allow you to multitask. It always ensures that you end a task before you go into the next one. And it manages flow, which means that the cards are moved as evenly as possible throughout the system without waiting for so long in one section of the board. And I said, this can be seen on an example, which is the Trello board. So moving to the the Lean framework just helps to eliminate wasteful resources and tasks. These are like list of tasks or activities that does not provide real value, so it can help improve efficiency and reduce costs without ignoring the quality. And it prioritizes bringing value to the customer with every decision that is made. And the principles of implementing that you have to identify the value and you have to map the value stream, which is the route you want to take to establish this value. You have to create the flow. Then you have to establish a pull system. And finally, you have to seek perfection for everything you've done like above. And then the next one is extreme programming. And this one is practiced more by the engineering teams. It's built on values, principles, and practices. And it allows, it emphasizes on the technical aspect, like I said, besides about engineers' work while following the engineering practices. And some of the values that this is built upon is simplicity, respect, communication, courage, and feedback. While some of the practices, as you can see on my screen, says coding standard on site principal, on site customer, 40 hours a week. And this value just means provide purpose to the teams and guide their decisions. Like, for example, the team has to be courageous, they have to have respect, they have to be able to communicate. And those are the values that guide the decisions and provide values to the teams. While the practices is the opposite of value, and it's concrete and down to earth, and it helps teams to hold them accountable. Like, for example, they are deciding to work 40 hours a week. That's a practice that they are doing. They decide to be on site. That's a practice that they are implementing. And we also have the principles. The principles are guidelines that bridge the gap between the practices and value. So I think that's the end of my presentation. I don't know if you guys have any questions.
Thank you, Nneka. Please, does anybody have any questions? You can ask your question.
I have a question. So my question is, when you use Agile, is it a must you stick to one part, like you sticking to just Scrum, or you like as an organization now, you stick to just Scrum or stick to just Lean, or you can mix them in your organization?
Like I said, there are so many other frameworks, and there are frameworks that are kind of combining two different frameworks together. So it's possible that you could combine. So maybe you can research that. I know that there are lots, and I've noticed that there's the combination of Scrum and something else in the past. I don't know if that answers.
It answers my question.
Okay. I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so there's this one you're talking about. I can't really remember the name. You're talking about Trello board. Okay, yeah.
Kanban.
Kanban, yeah. You're talking about that you can't, like, you have to finish a work before you jump onto another. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah, so it promotes that you have to finish one work before starting another one.
Okay. So my question is like, you know, there are times that you'll be working on a particular project and someone from somewhere will just come and be like, okay, can you help me out with this? With this Kanban, does that mean I won't be able to accept the other projects?
It depends, because Kanban doesn't enjoy like having a lot of pending tasks, work in progress, and nothing is moving. Like I said, it has to make sure that, like I said, the framework makes sure that like there's a flow in the system. So
I have a question.
Allow me to learn now. Can you please? Okay, like I was saying, so Kanban promotes that so it doesn't promote that all the job to be done is work in progress, and there's nothing moving to done. I don't know if that helps.
Okay, thank you. All right, that's.
Who has the question again?
Yes. This I'm talking about.
Your network is bad. Can you type it in the chat?
Okay.
So while she's doing that, any other question?
Since there is no any other question, you can ask your questions and direct it to anybody.
Okay, I have a number of questions at the end of the slides. Yeah, so I think they are quite easy. So who can maybe answer number one question, or maybe any number you can answer.
Yeah.
Who's answering? Okay, Jacob, can you help us answer number one? Jacob, answer number one.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
What's the question?
Well-known components of the Scrum framework.
Scrum framework. Bit of sprint.
Jacob, can you mute Peters?
Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I said bits of sprints. I did there. Sprints. I said bit of sprints. I didn't say that all. Am I right?
You're wrong. Okay, who wants to help Mr. Jacob?
Okay, the answer is daily Scrum, sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective.
Thank you.
Nneka, sprint is there now. I mentioned sprints.
You said bits of sprints.
Sorry, I want to ask that second question. Is it like the year that it was established?
Yes, the year.
Okay, I think 2001.
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you. Who can answer number 3 for us? Priska. Hello.
So thank you, Nneka, for your presentation today. Thank you very much. So we've come to the end of the first presentation.